Time for another player profile and projection here on Talkin Yanks, which is brought to you by DraftKings. And we are talking about Domingo Germán. And it's always a delicate conversation, and it's always not a fun conversation. He's coming off the suspension for the domestic violence, the longest suspension ever given out by MLB for domestic violence, I believe. Didn't pitch the end of 2019, missed the playoffs, which would have been a difference maker for the Yankees because of the domestic violence. We've had clarity on what the domestic violence was. Lindsay Adler wrote an article about it, giving more information. Zach Britton talked about it, said, I know what happened, man, and not cool. He said, you can't choose your teammates. Germán done a lot of other weird stuff on Instagram that kind of made everyone like turn their head. He's retired twice or once on Instagram. So it's been a very interesting conversation, very not fun conversation. The harsh matter is that he is back on his quote-unquote like redemption grace period, which I don't know if he deserves or whatever, and that's kind of really not our place to like fully give our thoughts. Like, I can give you my full opinion on baseball because I have a lot of opinions on that. I don't know anything about the domestic violence, but if we don't discuss it, you get into, obviously you have to discuss it. Blah, 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 blah. Not blah, blah, blah. See, I don't know what to do.
No, man, we have to address it up front. If we did the whole Domingo Germán player profile and projection for his baseball, and then we ended the episode with, oh, he's kind of a bad guy, though, that's not acceptable. It's the Domingo Germán story at this point, and he's getting a second chance. If you believe in that, good. If you don't believe in that, that's kind of fair on you. So, and Jim, you mentioned kind of some of the other craziness. He just got married. So, I mean, the Domingo Germán stuff has been a roller coaster, and here's just my honest thoughts. Let's just hope he genuinely tries to become a better person. And it's tough. We look through this lens of social media and, who knows what's at face value and what's real. Hopefully this guy realized he made a tremendous mistake, an incredibly bad mistake, a grotesque mistake, and he tries to live a better life going forward because of that. So that's the off-the-field stuff, and it sucks, and some of you won't ever be able to get over that hurdle, and we're not in a position to tell you that you should. But the powers vested in Major League Baseball said that was the punishment. He did it, and now he is back with the Yankees in spring training, and I would not be shocked if he is a big part of this 2021 Yankee season.
He's had a good spring training. He had a good 2019 season. Yeah, I mean, when his plus stuff is there, it's pretty nasty, and I think he's going to crack the rotation right away and be given a shot to repeat his 2019 season, really. I mean, he was really good, Jake. He had, let me get this together. He had 13 or 12 starts, 6 innings pitched with 3 or less runs. He had a 4.03 ERA that is ballooned by a 8 earned run and a 7 earned run outing, like really bad. 2 outings. Other than that, he had 21 where he didn't allow more than 3 runs. He was good. It's been a little bit since then.
He was the model of consistency, kind of. I remember those 2 starts. I want to say one was Cleveland. Or maybe I don't remember those 2
Minnesota
starts.
and Kansas City.
Oh, Minnesota's basically Cleveland. That counts. But yeah, man, I mean, 18 wins. I know people don't care about pitcher wins. 18 wins and 4 losses. That's incredible. If the team won games at that clip, guess what? You take notice. And you're right, the ERA gets ballooned by those. It's a 4.03, which still in today's baseball is pretty good. More than a strikeout per inning, and that was, it was his first full year as a starter. He had 14 starts the year before. Not great, but the stuff seemed to be there. And then 2019, it seemed like it all came together until he decided to be an idiot, and he got himself suspended for that Yankees postseason run in the following season.
Mm-hmm. Man, out of the 18 wins, 2 of them came like in the bullpen, like not really like starting pitcher wins, And then he had, a 6 innings pitched, 3 earned run game. That was a loss. So the 18 wins is cool. But when you go deeper into it, you realize why they stopped counting wins and losses.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a no decision when he allowed 7 earned runs.
Yanks offense helps sometimes.
Yeah. It's wild. I think he's, once you get past the 1 and 2, even the 1 position in the rotation doesn't matter at all, in my opinion. Like, he's going to be the 4, 5, 3. When Sevy comes back, what's his role come the postseason? Like, what do you think his role come the postseason will be? Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be, do him and another pitcher team up for the bulk inning? Like, that's what he was going to be in 19.
Right.
And they really, really needed that guy because the bullpen got worn down. And if they had Germán come in for 3 innings and didn't have to go to Otto, Canely, Chad every game, Britton every game, it would have been a much different story. So what do you think his postseason, if we get there, like where do you kind of see that? You think he's starter?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees are going to use him. Hot take, Jake. No, we've kind of recently talked ourselves into this, and it's, value times years remaining, et cetera, et cetera. Domingo Germán is almost a sunk asset at this point. I'm sure the Yankees were pretty close to just cutting him loose and getting rid of it and moving on. So if he does start to rehabilitate his life and he's looking good on the mound, I think they're going to use him. Whether it's a 4th or 5th starter or injury bugs kick in or however you want to use it. If he's performing, they will use him day in, day out. Now, when the postseason gets here, you'd like to think it's a combination. You'd like to think, if you're winning a series and you're up 3-1 and you burned out the bullpen, that you say, hey, Domingo, good luck. You're going to get 6 innings today because we just burnt out the bullpen to get ahead in this series. Knock yourself out. We've seen it. Look at the Dodgers last year with Urias and all these starting pitchers that have kicked to the bullpen. Domingo Germán can do that. He's got the stuff. I mean, it's wipeout. And if he can tick that up for 2 innings coming out of the bullpen, I mean, there's a world where this guy is either a very important starter or like the utility knife super weapon out of our bullpen.
I'd be happy. Obviously, you'd be happy, but I mean, he had a 4. Let me finish my thoughts before I go to the next one. Thanks, Mom. I get that from my mom.
Thanks, Mom.
I'd be happy if he repeated his 2019 season. And then I replied to myself, and I said, of course you'd be happy. He won 18 games. And then I replied to myself, but the ERA was started with a 4, which isn't amazing. And I think his talent can be a sub-4 ERA pitcher over a long course. Like, I think but I kind of just pitch, just eat innings and get there. And I wish that he wasn't such a headache and he didn't have all these other things surrounding him, because we have this guy for 4 more years. Like, imagine if he never got suspended and he could do the postseason in 2019 and then was a 2020 starting pitcher and also in the postseason, and now we have 4 more years of him. Be amazing. But I do think, like, the sunk costs, like, I think there got to be a point where when you have teammates speaking out against you and when your coach has to answer for your Instagram stories, I think there comes to a push to shove where you're like, dude, you know what? We'll just trade you for equal value somewhere else. So it's a bummer that that's how we're talking about the skill set, that it's attached to that person. Wish the skill set was attached to a different person that was more likable or rootable.
You're telling me, man. I mean, I kind of got on the Germán train. I bought in at the start of that 19 season. It was kind of the start of the toilet Nostradamus, and then here we are, man. And it's baseball moves quick, and you have these moments. And think about some of the other PPPs we've done baseball-wise, whether it's Miguel Andujar or Gumby, whoever it is. Like, how quickly baseball changes. Clint Frazier, So, hey, Germán, you're gonna have the opportunity this year, And this might be your last best opportunity, man, on the field and off the field. Because guess what? If you don't pitch well, no team is going to deal with your crap.
Yeah.
And if you do, but you're doing crap off the field, nobody's going to deal with that either, man. So, you know, I'm rooting for him to become better as a person first, and then I'll root for him if he's on the mound for the Yankees to do well. And I hope he does, because otherwise, you know, this whole thing becomes a very sad story. And, you know, hey, some of you are probably saying maybe he deserves to be a sad story. And again, I won't bicker with you.
In 2019, in case you want to remember his skill set, he's a curveball first pitcher. Like, he throws his curveball more than his four seam. It's nasty, his curveball. His changeup in spring has been looking really good as well, and then the fastball's there. The fastball sits at, let me find it. I just had it pulled up. I don't know why I clicked out of it. 91. Well, actually, nope. Sorry.
Feels a little low for Mingo.
Yep. 93.
Okay.
In 2018, it was 94.5, and then it came down a little bit in 2019 to 93. We'll see what it's in 2021. But yeah, the curveball got thrown more than the fastball in 2019. 36% curveball, 34% four seam, and then he does have the changeup that ticked up. And I think we're going to see the changeup tick up even more and become more of a three-pitch pitcher. We've seen it look pretty good in spring, but his curveball generates whiffs at a 45% clip, or it did in 2019. That's really good, and a 30% put-away pitch. And to have that as your number one pitch is quite the top pitch. It's pretty awesome. He also, in 2019, was much better first time through and wasn't good third time through at all, which obviously no pitcher really is. But, you know, the first time through was pretty good. 198 batting average against, 636 OPS against. That's really good for first time through. His first time through as a reliever, Jake, basically unhittable. 25 plate appearances, only 2 hits as a reliever first time through. So there is that aspect of, if you get to the postseason and you want him to just go one time through the rotation, and then you want Davey or Sevy or King or whoever to go one time through the rotation, there is that. We'll see if he beats those numbers and starts getting better second time through as well, because those first time through numbers are really nice.
And man,
you see why a lot of teams do that now.
It's just, let's hope it gets to the point where we can have fun baseball thoughts with Domingo Germán, whether it's a game 4 piggyback with Monty and you're giving them the big lefty for 2 times through, and then you kick it over to Domingo Germán. You know, it would be awesome if we can dream that stuff, but he's got to earn it in a couple ways. And yeah, just I had clicked on the splits too, and I guess something to watch to see if it becomes a thing. He was nasty at home in 2019. He was 8-1 with a 2.26 ERA. On the road, 10-3 with a 5.45 ERA. So I don't know. We'll see if that's anything or just baseball Susan a little bit. But yeah, man.
Did his blow-ups come on the road? Is that?
I think both of them, yes.
Wow.
But again, think about 10 starts at 2.26 at Yankee Stadium. That's a 26-year-old starting pitcher. That's like, yeah.
His worst game at home, well, oh, this isn't great. 3.2 innings, didn't make it out of the fourth, but only gave up 3 earned runs. Why didn't he make it out of the fourth inning?
Must have been ugly.
Yeah.
Must have been against Cleveland, you know. That's what I remember.
No, it was against Boston.
All right, the Cleveland of Massachusetts.
I mean, he had one game against Cleveland where he gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings. Is that what you remember?
Gotcha.
They brought Chad Green in the 5th.
About that.
Because they really wanted to win this game. They did win it, so.
Huge.
June 1st? No way. I don't know what that was about. All right. I mean, do we have a over-under from Max?
We do. Gotta pull it up. Max's over-under for Domingo Germán, 14.5 starts.
Oh, over. I think
he wrote that one before we saw him in spring training.
I mean, Yeah, and spring training stats don't mean much, obviously, but when they're fun, you can talk about them because they're fun. I mean, right now he's pitched 9 innings and he has 0 earned runs and 13 strikeouts. I mean, he's looked the most dominant any Yankee pitcher's looked out of all the pitchers this spring.
What would have to happen for that to not happen? You'd need good starting pitching health from everyone else. You'd need him to be bad, and you'd need Davey to kind of jump him.
And everyone stays healthy.
Right.
He
By the
might
time
even have
Sevy comes back.
He might have to like get hurt first or something to like lose the
I
rotation.
mean, obviously,
spot.
obviously, a Germán injury would be one.
Right.
If he doesn't get injured to not make how many starts is it?
14.5.
For him not to make 14.5 starts, I think there's no way that happens if he stays healthy.
Okay.
It would be based on behavior.
Unless he gets suspended again.
I mean, he could be bad. Like, this is baseball, guys. Like, he's got some numbers that the baseball gods don't like him that much. He had a bad FIP. He gave up a lot of homers. Yeah, but I mean, there's other bodies too. I mean, there's Davey, there's Clark. Like, if Germán isn't good on the bump, there's guys to replace him.
Yeah, I'd take the over. Let's say Cole gets 30 starts. You got 132 starts left. Divided by like 5 guys.
Couple bodies. I'll take the under.
And that gets you to 26 starts each. So, like, how many?
Sevy will come back at some point.
That's
Does Clark get in the mix? Does your guy Julisse get in the mix? There's bodies.
I guess, like, how long do you think his leash is going to be? How long a bad
Well,
stretch is he
you know,
gonna
we're
get out of
talking
that?
service time stuff with Davey, so we'll see what goes on there. I mean, they could do service time stuff with Domingo, too. That's not ruled out.
He's already cost himself a lot of service time.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees won't be shy to manipulate it if they have to. I think the safe money is on the over, but there's a world where the under is very much in play.
Chad Green, 15 starts in 2019. Always forget about that.
Chester.
Yeah, I'll take the over. He got 14 in 2018. And then the baseball reference for him is
The 57% reliability, 6-3, 4.5 ERA, and 68 innings pitched.
That's like around 14 starts. So 4.5 ERA, 1.2 WHIP. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird. They have everyone being worse than, like, they have everyone projected to be worse than their normal.
Yeah.
Sure. That seems low to me. I think he's going to be a mainstay in the rotation. So.
Interested to see.
Yeah.
Gonna be, and we talk big pivot years for guys baseball-wise and stuff. I mean, Domingo Germán, man. It's a pivot year for your life.
Delete the Instagram. Did he? He hasn't posted anything since. I don't know.
His wedding stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's at least deleted it before.
Yeah, he reset it.
A little reset.
Yeah.
Never hurt anyone.
Get better, man.
Curveball. Throw it a lot. All right. Well, that's Domingo Germán. You guys let us know what you think about the Max's over-under. That's the only thing you're allowed to comment on this one. Over or under. Hundreds of over or under comments. Appreciate you. Goodbye. Oh, wow, look. Almost perfect timing.